Hey guys, welcome back to Screen Time Fridays. Today we're diving into Butterfly, Prime Video's brand new action series. On paper, this show should have been espionage, assassins, messy family drama, and a power cast. I mean, you've got Daniel Dae Kim, Perabo, Kim Ji Hoon, and of course South Korea's princess Kim Tae. Butterfly basically follows David Jung, a former assassin who fakes his death and disappears. Years later, his daughter Rebecca, who has been raised as an assassin herself, comes looking for answers. It's supposed to be this high stakes thriller about secrets, betrayal, and the cost of living in the shadows. Sounds good, right? But let me tell you, it's just a hot mess. With the characters, we've got David Jung, who's played by Daniel Dae Kim, and he's the dad, the former assassin, co-founder of the espionage company Cadis. On paper, this is so badass, but in reality, it's wasted potential. Daniel Dae Kim is a powerhouse. We've seen him slay in both action and drama, but here, underused. The fight scenes were so weak in my opinion, and the intense moments in Korean they felt flat, which broke my heart because I was so excited to finally hear him act in his native tongue. Now, I can't even blame him for the delivery in Korean because I myself, as a native Swahili speaker, sometimes I sound ridiculous because I focus so much on sounding the syllables right, and sometimes my Joburg accent slips out, so it just sounds super cringe to my fellow Swahili speakers, especially my Kenyans. Rebecca, played by Raina Hardesty, I hope I said her name right, is David's daughter. She grows up thinking her dad is dead, gets taken in by Juno, and is raised to be an assassin. It's predictable. Trauma equals assassin. We've seen it before. But that doesn't mean we should excuse the sloppy writing of this character. She's supposed to be a badass assassin. Honestly speaking, it was really not giving cold-blooded assassin who's emotion. It was so badly written, Moving on to Juno, who's played by Piper Perabo, I hope I said her name right, damn, is David's ex-partner, both in life in terms of friendship and business. She's manipulative, shady, still running Cadis. The show really wanted to be this ruthless mastermind, but the writing doesn't back her up. Piper tried, she really did. But you can only do so much with what you've been given. And she was literally given pennies. Then we've got Yong-shik Choi, played by Park Hye-soo. Most of you would recognize him from Squid Games. I think he's number 218. He represents the Korean espionage hierarchy. His acting is great. His role criminally underused. If he was supposed to be the central to the espionage storyline, the show really fumbled here. Because as a K-drama watcher, seeing him in shows like Prison Playbook, Money Heist Korea, they really downplayed his talent, and it's one of the most frustrating things to watch. Speaking of frustrations, meet Gun, played by the talented Kim Ji Hoon. In the show, he's supposed to be one of the best assassins in South Korea. Kim Ji Hoon is insanely talented, and if you don't watch K-dramas, you probably know him from Ballerina or Money Heist Korea. I know these are two of those Netflix K-dramas that did well outside of South Korea, and in Ballerina and Money Heist, he kind of has the same role as he does in Butterfly, the crazy psycho killer type of character. So he's very well prepared for such a role, and he's clearly very qualified for the psycho assassin role that they want him to play in Butterfly. But did the show showcase his talent? Of course not. Because if they did, I would not be here looking all crazy, crashing out over fictional characters that literally don't even pay my bills. In my opinion, they had a solid foundation for these characters. They have a solid cast line, and this could have been one heck of a show, but they missed. They chose to be lazy rather than actually put in some actual effort. The series starts off with emphasis that Rebecca believes David is dead, and because of that, she gets raised by Juno and becomes a killer. Naturally, I'll give it to Rebecca. We see her skills in the first 5 minutes, and honestly speaking, I feel like this is where all the budget went, and because of that, we don't get to see any more action packed. Like, at least we don't get to see any more effort and energy put into the writing and the directing. The themes of Butterfly are pretty clear from the start. It's all about trauma, betrayal, secrets, complicated family dynamics, and of course, the classic espionage stuff. But instead of layered storytelling to kind of like give the show a lot of like body and just oomph, it's messy and all over the show. It's like having all the ingredients for a brownie, and instead of you making a brownie, you somehow manage to make a dry ass chocolate cake. And don't even get me started in episode 1 and the random sex scene. I don't understand why there's a random, like, the sex scene felt like a filler. Like, they have to fit a 45-minute mark for episode 1 and they just threw in a sex scene. It's kind of like, it added nothing. In my opinion, the sex scene added nothing. So if you have watched Butterfly and maybe you understand why the sex scene is there, please comment down below. I also want to know, because I've been trying to figure out why they even added this. Like, it adds no substance to the overall plot. By the time we get to episode 2, Juno's big ass lie gets revealed. It's supposed to be a shocking revelation, but honestly speaking, it's so obvious from the pilot. I mean, for heaven's sake, they literally exposed it in the trailer. And I actually don't know why. I don't know why. I should have taken it from this trailer that this was not going to be a good show. I don't know why I committed to finishing this. But don't get me wrong. Piper Perabo really gave energy and she really tried her best. But the writing gave her nothing, in my opinion. I feel like the writing and the directing didn't give her enough to work. And if you think the character writing is lazy, my babies, let's talk about the lazy world building. Now, when it comes to movies, shows, whatever it is, the universe you're creating, you've got to be creative about it. You've got to pay attention to the finer details, because it's what is going to make or break your show. That's my opinion. And for me, I just don't understand how a show that is based in South Korea is not trying to follow how South Koreans do things. Like, even though this is an American show, this is an American production, you are still basing it off of being in South Korea. So you would follow the rules and regulations of South Korea. But for some reason, we are seeing like we're in downtown New York. A quick Google search would have let you know the police of South Korea are out here just shooting away. Like, this doesn't happen. This doesn't. Where they but it's fine. Let's move on. I was just like really not impressed by the fact that they couldn't look into the culture of the country that they're filming. Like, it's, oh my God, like, are people this lazy? Like, this is your craft. This is your art. What are you doing? Don't even get me started on the Daniel Dae Kim versus the Kim Ji Hoon fight scene, because these are supposed to be two amazing assassins. That's the whole entire point of them, right? They are like really, really talented assassins. But the show doesn't, like, oh my gosh. The show doesn't show that. And it sucks even more, because when you have grown up watching both of these actors, you know how talented they are. So seeing their talent being wasted because of lazy script writing and directing, guys, it's like, I'm so upset. Like, why am I upset? This doesn't pay my bills. To be honest with you, by the time I reached minute 43 of episode 2, I was just shaking my head in disappointment. Kind of like when your mom catches you doing something and she's not even angry, like, she's just, like, she gives you one of those. But did I stop? I could have stopped there. I didn't stop there. I continued watching. Why? Because I like problems. But anyways, we get to episode 3, and episode 3 is all about the father-daughter tension, basically like directing, you know. Rebecca's heartbroken, and I get it, you know, like, she lost her dad. She found out her dad is alive. Like, there's a lot of emotions going on there. But my problem is the execution of this eruption of emotions. Because from the get-go, the show paints her as cold-blooded, emotionless, like she's an assassin, she doesn't give a damn. Like she just does whatever she needs to do to get by. But she ends up erupting and exploding, which is fine. It's normal. It happens. You just found out that your dad, your only family, is actually alive. And rather than coming to look for you, he went ahead, faked his death, moved to South Korea, fell in love again, and started a whole entire family. Completely understandable. Her heartbreak makes sense, right? But it's just the execution. I feel like they rushed it too much rather than actually having this nice little build-up of us seeing Rebecca having kind of like a crash out on the fact that what the heck is going on, because at the end of the day she became an assassin to follow in her father's footsteps and hopefully find out what actually ended up happening to her dad. So us just not getting that, it makes it very empty and it's kind of difficult to follow through. Like, there's just plot inconsistencies. Like, is this a woman who has absolutely no emotions, or is this a woman who is masking everything, pretending to not have emotions? Like, what's going on? Can we have a proper strategy? Because it just felt like the writers and directors were throwing random things around and trying to make something work, and it's not. And of course, because this is episode 3 and it's a 6 episode series, this is kind of like where the build-up is supposed to get like super intense, and the big twist comes out, which is very obvious, and that is the one person that they both trusted turns out to be the biggest villain. What a shocker. Like, I don't know, I was expecting a lot more because you have such a fire cast. I was expecting so much more. I was expecting to be mind blown. I was expecting to be at the edge of my seat, but all I got was nothing. I got nothing. I got excited for absolutely. We get to episode 4 and 5. I don't know what happened there, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of blacked out because I got bored. I really just got bored because I don't know what was going on. The only thing that kind of stood out for me is David's backstory. You know, the mission that killed him, his new identity in South Korea, him abandoning his daughter, you know, to start a whole new family. That's the only thing that kind of like stood out, and they kind of put effort into that, but not really, in my opinion. Like, I just feel like they could have done a little bit more, made it a little bit more interesting, you know, have a proper build-up. But at the time I got to episode 6, I was pretty much over it, but I powered through. I watched the whole entire episode like 2 days later because I needed a break from the nonsense. And when I came back to watch it, honestly speaking, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know why I expected it to get better for the last episode. But of course, they had the audacity to bring in the FBI. Guys, what is the FBI doing in Seoul? Like, you want to tell me the KMPA, which is the Korean police agency, and the NIS couldn't show up to the party in their own country, on their own soil, to stop the crime in their own country? We needed the FBI for an espionage case, not the CIA, which is the department that focuses on espionage in foreign grounds. No. The FBI. Like, there's so many things that's wrong with this, and not everyone's gonna pick it up. But guys, yes, this is fictional, it's not real life, this is not how things happen in the real world. But at the same time, you're building a universe based off of real places and people and organizations. Why are we not putting in just a little bit more effort in the finer details? Like, if you want American intervention, the CIA would make more sense than the FBI. Because why is the FBI in South Korea stopping an espionage company from the illegal activities in a foreign country. Guys, this doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And it's frustrating me. Like, it's frustrating me so much. But I'm trying not to make this video long. So I'm trying to make my crash out short. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why not do your homework? I don't understand. Like, is it that difficult to just open Google and figure out how would this actually be dealt with? Like, how would all the legal things work? Like, this is actually one of the main reasons why I kind of stopped watching Hollywood-based shows. It's just because there's so much sloppiness when it comes to the writing and the directing. It's never good. Like, especially when they have a powerhouse of a cast, they don't put in effort. They just slap the big names and hope it like sells. I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. Genuinely love every single one of these actors and all the projects that they've been in. But this is the first time that I'm just here, like, even if it's for a bad, guys, do you really want your name? Like, I can't stand sloppy work. Butterfly has the skeleton for something good, like something great. But yeah, we're not getting that. Anyways, this is also the episode where, like, the climax, woo! I felt nothing. The climax, I would say, it's the equivalent of you trying to sneeze and the sneeze never comes out. You're just on edge for the sneeze and then it never comes out and then your whole body just like continues with life. As much as I was just like not a fan of this show at all, I only liked it because of the cast, I will give it a bit of grace. I do think that they did pretty well when it came to the twisted family dynamics, especially with the mother and son. It's very classic mama's boy. The son is really just trying to get on mom's good graces and get her approval. And also like the father-daughter dynamic, you know, the betrayal that's centered around it, the dad and daughter always butting heads. You know, I think they did it like they did really, really well when it came to that aspect. But apart from the cast and that part of the whole entire show, there is absolutely nothing I really enjoyed about this series. I wasted my time. I guess my overall thoughts to some extent, like I keep saying in the whole entire video, the concept of Butterfly is solid. I think the idea that the writers and the directors probably had was amazing. It's just their execution was tragic, and we're never going to actually get to see what exactly was in their minds. They really, really struggled to materialize their thoughts. Like, they could not bring their thoughts and what's in their mind into reality. And I don't know, maybe they were pressed for time, guys. Maybe they didn't have enough budget. But whatever it is, season 1 sucked. That's my honest opinion. And I'll give it like a 5 out of 10, simply just because they had a very, very solid cast. If it was not for their cast, if it was not for the A-list star quality cast that they got, this show would not make it. That's not to say that Butterfly is unwatchable. All I'm saying is don't expect next level espionage. I would literally say think Red Notice. It's very glossy, shallow, and entertaining if you're not like me and you don't think too much. You don't observe too much. Like, you're just there to have something to kind of like watch or like background sound. I will say also the ending of episode 6 is kind of hilarious to me. If you are a Vampire Diaries or an Originals fan, you'll understand why. You'll understand why, because David in the last second is giving Klaus. He's giving Klaus Michelson when he yells Rebecca. Rebecca! Will I watch season 2 if it does happen? Probably, because I'm curious enough. And I think that they have a skeleton to work with. I just feel like, yeah, season 1, wasted potential. But you know what, guys? If you've got Prime or other ways to watch the show and you're curious enough about it and you have nothing else to do, I mean, go ahead and check it out. But don't expect a masterpiece. And if you have already seen Butterfly, let me know in the comments. You know, did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you frustrated as much as I am? Are you confused as to how this actually came to be and why? Because clearly, Rotten Tomato viewers and critics enjoyed it more than I did. So maybe I really am the problem and I just expected too much, especially with a cast this talented. I think I just expected way too much. and got way too little. So the excitement I had died down very, very quickly. But yeah, guys, that's it for me. I really do hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, please do like, comment, share. Let me know your thoughts. And if you do decide to watch this, let me know in the comments, hit my DMs, tell me what you thought about the show. And if you have watched it, I would actually really like to hear your take on it. This is my take because, duh, this is Stacey's take. But I want to hear your take. Did you enjoy it? Am I overreacting? Did I expect too much? My expectations too much? Like, let me know. I'm very, very curious. Like, I want to know exactly what people liked about the show because me, I only liked it because of the cast. The cast was attractive to look at, and that was it. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.